Have you ever wondered why some women who don't fit the typical beauty standards or live the picture-perfect lives we often see on social media still manage to attract men who seem way out of their league? What is it about these women that makes them irresistible without trying too hard? It's not about the flawless looks, the expensive clothes, or the filtered images online. These women exude something deeper, something powerful that can't be bought or faked. But what is it exactly? What if I told you the key to attracting men lies not in looking the best or showing off, but in something much more meaningful and lasting? What if it's not about the surface at all? Have you ever wondered why some women who don't necessarily match the typical beauty standards or live the picture-perfect lives we often see on social media still manage to attract men who seem way out of their league? What is it about these women that draws men to them effortlessly, without any obvious effort? What kind of quiet strength do they possess that makes them so irresistibly appealing? It's not what you might expect. It's not about having flawless looks, expensive clothes, or perfect filters on social media. These women carry something much deeper, something far more powerful that can't be bought or faked. It's not about heavy makeup, revealing outfits, or seductive poses. What truly sets them apart is a deep, quiet understanding of something simple yet profound and real. They know that true feminine power comes from the ability to create emotional closeness. They know how to touch a man's soul before they ever touch his body. That's what makes them unforgettable. They're not trying to win by being the prettiest or by showing off. Instead, they reach for something far more meaningful, something that can't be seen but is deeply felt. Let me take this a step further. Many women grow up being told that if they want love, they must first attract a man physically. The common belief is that being desired is the first step, and that physical beauty is the gateway to being loved. But what if I told you that you don't have to rely on just your looks to create a strong, lasting connection with a man? What if the most powerful bond between you two starts not with physical attraction, but with something far deeper in emotional and mental connection that leaves an indelible mark on his heart? When you connect with the deeper parts of him, his inner thoughts, his emotions, the parts of himself he doesn't easily show, he begins to fall for you in a way he doesn't fully understand. There's a deep, often unspoken truth here. A man's strongest desires are not rooted in his physical appearance or the material world around him. They reside in his mind, in his quiet worries, his goals, his hopes, and even the things he keeps hidden. His most sincere emotions are shaped by what happens inside his head. And when you learn how to connect with that inner space, you unlock a type of closeness that most people never experience. While most stay focused on the surface, on his looks, his possessions, or his charming demeanor, you'll realize that true desire, the kind that goes beyond fleeting attraction, grows in the depths of who he is. Now that we've begun to see what truly attracts and binds a man, how do you tap into that deeper connection? How can you forge that lasting bond that goes beyond the surface? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the power of emotional intimacy and how you can cultivate it in the next part of this journey. Continuing from where we left off, let's delve deeper into how emotional and mental connections create something much stronger than physical attraction. When you tap into his emotional and mental spaces, you unlock a deeper level of connection. But how do you achieve that? It's actually simpler than it seems. Emotional connection is not about using clever lines or playing games. It's about truly understanding him. It's about listening, really listening, and showing that you see him. Not just the exterior, but who he is when no one else is watching. When you begin to understand how his mind works, things start to shift in a way you wouldn't expect. Suddenly, you won't feel the need to compete for his time or affection. You won't feel like you're constantly chasing after his validation. Instead, you'll build a bond that pulls him toward you gently yet powerfully, without you needing to push at all. That's the real magic of emotional connection. His deepest wants and needs don't come from his physical body, as much as society might lead you to believe. They come from his thoughts, his dreams, his doubts, and the quiet spaces between those thoughts. His fears, his ambitions, and the hidden parts of his story all play a role in how he experiences love. When you learn how to speak to those deeper, often unspoken parts of him, something remarkable happens. He begins to feel safe, seen, and drawn to you, not because of your appearance, but because of how deeply you understand him. You begin to take up space in his heart in a way no one else has ever done. So, why does emotional closeness have such a profound effect? Think about it this way. A man can share his body easily, but emotionally, that's rare. When you reach into that part of him, the part most people never get close to, form a bond that lasts beyond superficial attraction. He might forget the specifics of what you said, or even how you looked one night, but he'll always remember how you made him feel. If you've ever felt drained from giving so much and receiving so little, or from doing everything you thought was right and still ending up disappointed, perhaps you've been focusing on the wrong things. You don't have to change who you are. You don't need to alter your face, your body, or your personality. What you truly need is the ability to reach his inner world, the space where his deepest emotions live, where his dreams take shape, and where he feels most alive. That's the part most people shy away from. But if you're brave enough to enter that space, everything begins to change. Let me remind you, this isn't just talk. This is real insight into how human emotions work from a woman's perspective. It's about seeing him not as a project to win, but as a human being with his own thoughts, fears, and hopes. It's about connecting with him in a way that touches his heart and soul, not just his senses. Now, let's dig even deeper. Men think and feel differently from women. Understanding this can help you connect with him in a way that lasts. While many people focus on appearances and surface-level charm, the most profound connections come from understanding the deeper layers of a person. Having explored these emotional depths, you might be wondering, how can you use this understanding to foster a deeper bond with him? How can you begin connecting on this level? Let's explore this in the next part. Continuing from our exploration of emotional and mental connections, let's dive deeper into why meaningful connections happen beneath the surface. The truth is simple yet profound. A man's body is not the most sensitive part of him. His emotions and inner world are where he's most vulnerable. When you learn to touch that part of him, when you communicate in a way that reaches his heart, everything else becomes easier. The real magic happens when you start speaking to his heart, not just his eyes. Listen for what he doesn't say, not just for what he shows. That's when his true feelings will surface, and the attraction between you will grow. Not because you're the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, but because you're the one who truly sees him. Once you've touched that hidden part of him, once you've connected with his emotional core, he won't be able to forget you. That's what true emotional closeness does. It makes you unforgettable. There's a world of difference between catching someone's attention for a brief moment and becoming someone they carry in their thoughts every day. Anyone can turn a head, but very few can reach a heart in a way that lingers. When you make him feel deeply understood, when you spark his imagination, and when you help him feel valuable enough for his appearance or his image, but for who he truly is, that's when you become a part of his inner world. This isn't about giving everything all at once. It's about mystery and timing. Just like women are often drawn to mystery, so are men. The male mind is naturally curious. You don't need to spill all your thoughts and emotions right away. Instead, give just enough to make him want more. Let your silence speak. Let him wonder what you're thinking. Make him lean in, eager to know what's behind your smile or your quiet pause. This, my friend, is one of the most powerful things you can do. Make him feel drawn to you without revealing everything. Men fall in love not because of what you do, but because of how you make them feel through what you do. If there's no emotional spark, no sense of being truly seen or valued, the connection will fade just as quickly as it started. But when you help him feel inspired, respected, emotionally safe, and mentally curious, when you give him something real to remember you by, you create something that doesn't disappear. You become unforgettable. This is the true root of lasting desire. The mind is where true connection begins. Desire doesn't just appear in the body, it grows inside the mind. And when you fully understand this, when you begin to connect with his thoughts, his goals, his worries, and his deepest needs, everything shifts. You won't feel like you have to chase after his love anymore. You won't feel like you have to prove yourself or compete with others. What you will have is something much stronger, a bond that reaches far beyond the surface. Now that we've seen the depth of connection and how it shapes desire, you might be wondering, how can you continue to nurture this bond and make it even stronger? How do you maintain this emotional closeness over time? Stay tuned, because in the next part, we'll explore how to keep the emotional spark alive and deepen your connection even further. Picking up from where we left off, let's dive into how emotional and mental connections go beyond just physical attraction. The truth is simple but profound. When you connect with him emotionally and mentally, the physical part will naturally follow. It won't feel forced. It won't feel rushed. Instead, it will flow effortlessly, feeling real and easy. While others might try to grab attention through their appearance or charm, you'll create something much deeper, something that stays with him long after you're gone. This isn't about being the prettiest woman in the room or wearing the most attractive outfit. It's about learning how to reach him in a deeper, more emotional way. The woman who understands how to reach a man's mind, who knows how to speak to his heart, and who knows how to create a real emotional connection is the one he will never forget. And the best part? That woman can be you. Now, think about something for a moment, Thave. You ever stop to ask yourself where you've sought approval in your life? Imagine what would happen if, instead of chasing approval from a place of doubt or insecurity, you started expressing yourself from a place of true inner strength. How different would your life be? This isn't just some abstract theory. It's a chance to build emotional connections that not only make your life richer, but also transform the way you feel about yourself and others. When you embrace this change, you'll see how people begin to treat you differently. The world will respond to your energy in ways you couldn't have predicted. This transformation doesn't come from changing how you look or pretending to be someone else. It comes from healing your thoughts, your feelings, and your spirit. It's about learning to share from a space of real truth. And once you realize that the mind is where desire truly begins, it's a powerful awakening. But understanding this is just the first step. The real magic happens when you apply this knowledge in your daily life. Here's where many people miss the mark. Too often, people believe that a simple compliment like "you look nice today" will automatically build closeness. While compliments are nice, they only scratch the surface, they don't create real depth. What truly builds a connection is when you speak in ways that reach deep into someone's heart and mind. When you stir their imagination, when you leave them thinking about you long after your conversation has ended. So, how do you do this? How do you move beyond the usual small talk and create something that leaves a lasting impression? There are 3 simple but powerful tools that can help you connect on a deeper emotional level in a way that's unforgettable. These tools may seem small, but their impact is deep. When used with sincerity and awareness, they make you unforgettable. The first tool, using words that create mental pictures. This doesn't mean relying on cheesy compliments or overused romantic lines. It's about choosing words that paint vivid stories in the listener's mind, creating a lasting image that resonates long after the conversation ends. Now that we've covered the first tool, let's dive into the next steps and explore even more powerful techniques to connect emotionally and leave an impression that lasts. Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll break down these tools and how to use them in your interactions. Continuing from our exploration of how to connect on a deeper level, let's dive into some specific techniques that will leave a lasting impression. The first tool is simple, yet incredibly powerful. Using words that create mental pictures. These kinds of words don't explain everything. They leave room for thought, for curiosity. They make someone wonder, and they spark a deeper connection. For example, instead of just saying, "I think you're really attractive," try saying, "There's something about you that makes me think thoughts I probably shouldn't." See the difference? The second approach suggests something deeper without spelling it out directly. It leaves the listener wondering what you meant, what you're holding back. This type of mystery pulls them in. creating a story in their mind. And the best part? They'll want to know more. When you speak this way consistently, you become someone they keep thinking about. You transform into a story that plays over and over in their head. You'll become unforgettable, and that's the true magic of emotional connection. Now, let's talk about the second tool, which may surprise you: the power of silence. In today's world, we often feel the need to fill every quiet moment with words. Silence can sometimes feel awkward, right? But when used purposefully, silence can be incredibly strong. Imagine saying something meaningful or bold and then just stopping, staying quiet. Don't rush to fill the space with more words. Maintain eye contact. Let the moment settle. That quiet moment becomes magnetic. It forces the other person to think. They'll wonder, "What did you mean?" Or, "Will you say more?" Or, "Is that it?" That pause you've created builds mystery, making your presence feel more intense. It adds emotional depth to the moment. When you become comfortable with using silence, you'll learn just how powerful it can be. Sometimes, what you don't say lingers in someone's mind far longer than the words you do speak. Silence can create a deeper connection than noise ever will. It's all about knowing when to pause and letting that space speak for you. The third and final tool is the most powerful: learning the art of leaving things incomplete. This is what we call the power of almost. It's about giving just enough to draw someone in, but not enough to fully satisfy their curiosity. By doing this, you keep a sense of mystery alive. Imagine this. You move in close as if you're about to kiss him, but instead of following through, you say something soft and then pull back with a playful smile. You didn't give him the chaos of a kiss, but now he's thinking about it, craving it. That moment, the one that didn't fully happen, becomes unforgettable. Why? Because it left a gap, a question, something to wonder about. The space between what almost happened and what didn't sparks a desire that's much stronger than if you'd just done what was expected. That's the magic of almost. It creates a feeling of wanting more, and this type of emotional pull can last far longer than simple satisfaction. When someone craves more of your energy, your presence, or your words, you know you've created a lasting connection. So, now that we've explored these tools for creating a deeper emotional connection, how can you apply them in your life to form stronger bonds? What are the next steps in truly understanding and connecting with someone on a meaningful level? Stay tuned as we dive into the next part of our journey, where we explore how to keep that connection alive and thriving. Continuing from where we left off, we've discussed how emotional connections are built with purpose, and now let's explore why those connections have such lasting power. These three tools, suggestive language, meaningful silence, and the power of almost are not tricks or manipulation. They are genuine ways of creating emotional bonds. They require real awareness, emotional depth, and a strong sense of self. Unfortunately, most people don't use them because they don't take the time to truly understand themselves or others on that level. But if you do, if you become someone who communicates with intention, you will stand out in a world where so many settle for shallow relationships. You'll no longer feel the need for constant approval. Instead, you'll begin attracting people who resonate with your energy, your truth, and your emotional strength. The core of all this is love, the love you have for yourself. When you truly love and accept who you are, you stop chasing attention. You naturally attract it. Your energy becomes magnetic. People will be drawn to you, not fully understanding why, but feeling a strong pull toward your presence. When you master the art of speaking in ways that stir the imagination, when you let silence create space for deeper meaning, and when you leave just enough unsaid to make someone crave more, you're not just building attraction, you're creating a profound emotional experience. You're offering something rare and authentic connection. And that, my friend, is something no one ever forgets. This is the foundation of every true connection. When you learn how to connect on a deeper emotional level, you won't need tricks or games to make someone like you. You won't have to pretend to be someone you're not. All you need is to stay true to who you really are. And once you do that, you'll naturally become more attractive. Your presence will become impossible to ignore. The energy you emit will speak louder than any words ever could. Loving yourself doesn't mean being self-centered or focused only on yourself. It means understanding your value and not being afraid to stand confidently in your own light. When you're aligned with your true self and stop seeking approval from others, you start attracting the kind of people who truly match your vibe. This kind of honesty is rare, and it's the key to becoming unforgettable. It's never about mind games or using tactics to win someone's attention. It's about being authentically you without shame or hesitation. When you let go of the need for approval and begin expressing yourself with love and confidence, you elevate not only your own energy, but the energy of everyone around you. People are naturally drawn to what's real. Authenticity builds emotional bonds based on real respect and honest understanding. When someone respects you, they see your true self, not just your appearance or actions, but the depth of your being. Respect is the heart of every strong connection. Once someone truly respects you, everything changes. They'll see you for who you are, and they'll appreciate every part of you. As we dive deeper into the power of respect and its role in connection, let's explore how you can build this sense of mutual respect in your relationships. Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll uncover how to maintain and nurture respect, ensuring that your emotional connections continue to grow and strengthen over time. As we've explored how respect and connection play a fundamental role in building lasting relationships, let's take a closer look at how these principles apply to you and your personal growth. When someone truly values you, they won't play with your emotions or give you the bare minimum. They'll make sure you feel appreciated and important. These individuals understand that real connection comes from mutual exchange, both giving and receiving. They recognize that respect builds trust, and trust is the foundation that allows love to grow strong. But to reach this level of connection, it all starts with you. You must first understand who you are, be clear about what you want, and set firm boundaries. The foundation of self-respect is essential to building meaningful relationships. It's about knowing when to say yes to things that feel right and knowing when to say no when they don't. These are simple words, but they represent the core of real self-love. When you have that foundation in place, you'll be able to build a relationship grounded in truth, mutual care, and understanding. Everything is connected: the way you speak, how you interact with people, and how you honor your own space and energy. When you live by these values, through thoughtful words, quiet confidence, and even the unspoken moments, you elevate the way you connect with others. You won't settle for shallow bonds or superficial relationships anymore. Instead, you'll form deep, authentic connections that truly matter. And remember, all of this starts within you. It begins with your own energy, your truth, and your choice to be present in every moment. When you show up fully and authentically, something beautiful happens. That connection you've always longed for doesn't have to be chased. It's already inside of you. You just need to remember that it's there and show it to those around you. There's something important I want to share with you. It's a truth that, once you understand it, will change the way you live your life. Don't be afraid to leave a real impact. Too often we hold back, thinking that we need to keep things light or surface level. We avoid getting too deep or revealing too much because we fear we might push people away. But the truth is, real attraction doesn't come from hiding. It comes from opening up and showing who you are with strength and calm confidence. You weren't made to beg for attention or chase after approval. You are here to create meaningful experiences, to be someone people remember. You're here to leave a mark home that touches something deep within others, a place few others ever reach. That's how strong bonds are created. So, the next time you're with someone, ask yourself, am I trying to get their approval, or am I simply being honest about how I feel? Am I hoping for a specific reaction, or am I being real and vulnerable? Am I acting out of fear, or am I standing in my truth? Your answers to these questions will determine whether you become just another passing memory or someone who leaves a lasting impression. With this newfound perspective on emotional connection and authenticity, how can you start applying these principles in your relationships? In the next part, we will delve into actionable steps to help you build even deeper and more fulfilling connections. Stay tuned. As we've explored the depth of emotional connection and authenticity, let's now dive into an essential truth about self-worth and its influence on everything around you. What you attract in life is directly connected to what you believe you deserve. It's a powerful realization that starts with knowing your value. This isn't just a small detail, it's the root of everything. Self-love is the best gift you can give yourself. When you fully embrace your worth, your life, including your relationships, begins to shift in remarkable ways. So, celebrate who you are, respect your own journey, and love yourself deeply. The more you do, the more you'll attract people who truly recognize and value your worth. When you stop searching for validation outside and begin building that confidence and self-acceptance inside, your energy transforms. And the most amazing part? You won't have to explain this change to anyone. They will feel it, even if they can't put it into words. There will be a calm strength within you that draws people in. Your presence alone will cause others to see you in a new light. As you grow in self-awareness, you'll start to notice the little things, the subtle pauses in speech, the changes in tone, and those unspoken emotional cues that you may have once overlooked. This is where real connection begins. You don't need to manipulate or control anyone to feel wanted. Real desire isn't rooted in clever games. It arises from an honest, emotional connection. When someone feels safe with you, when they can just be themselves without fear of judgment, they will open up. And when they do, they'll see you for who you truly are. This kind of connection is rare, powerful, and built on emotional honesty. But here's what else fuels desire. Being completely okay with who you are. Not because you're flawless, but because you're not hiding anything. You don't need to charm anyone. Your natural energy will attract what's right for you. If you see yourself as strong, free, and worthy of love, that energy will radiate outward. There is no force more magnetic than knowing your worth. True attraction doesn't come from what you do, it comes from who you are. It shows in the way you treat yourself, how you look at yourself in the mirror. When you finally accept your value, you'll stop settling for less than you deserve. You won't accept weak love or distant relationships. Your energy will demand more, and it will receive more. From this place of self-love and belief, your relationships will transform. When you're with someone, stop chasing their approval. Instead, take a moment to observe, listen, and truly feel the connection. Don't rush to fill silence or say things just to keep the conversation going. Let the moment be authentic. Speak when you feel something true inside, and if they begin to pull away, don't see it as rejection. See it as a message. When you truly know how to connect with someone, you won't need to fight for your place in their life. You won't need to prove anything to them. You'll already know your value. As you begin embracing your own worth and understanding the power of authentic connection, the next step is to reflect on how you can apply these insights to build even deeper relationships. Stay tuned for the next part, where we'll explore practical steps to nurture these connections in everyday life. As we've discussed the importance of knowing your value and embracing self-love, let's now dive deeper into how these elements shape the connections you create with others. The right person will notice your true self immediately. So, let yourself be free. Let go of the fear of not being enough. Release the need to chase reactions or stay in control. Your worth is not measured by how others respond to you. It's shown by how well you remain connected to who you really are, without changing yourself to fit someone else's idea of who you should be. Here's something truly powerful to remember. You have more inner power than you may realize. Not the power to control others, but the power to create genuine connections by being completely honest and true to yourself. That's the kind of power that no one else can replicate. So, keep evolving into the version of yourself that speaks your truth, embraces your strength, and naturally leaves a lasting impression. Understand this: true attraction isn't something you perform, it's a way of living. When you live from this authentic place, you won't need to try hard to be noticed. You won't have to chase love. Your presence will be more than enough. Your honesty will be more than enough. And that energy? It's what transforms shallow interactions into something unforgettable. If anything I've shared here resonated with your heart, if you felt seen or understood, then this message has done its job. Just remember, your worth isn't tied to how many people want you. It's found in how deeply you love and respect yourself. When you lead from that place of self-love, everything around you will begin to shift. As you move forward, think about how this mindset will shape your relationships and experiences. Let's explore further in the next part, where we will dive into practical ways to apply this transformative self-love to build deeper connections with those around you.